How's everybody doing today? Labor Day Monday. How is everybody doing today? Got a special guest with us today, all the way from Texas. So his weather is just about the same as ours here in Florida. Hot as hell. But hope everybody's having a safe, pleasurable Labor Day Monday. For those of you that have to work, but I'm sure most of you are entrepreneurs and you don't care about the holiday because it's 24/7. I can understand that. I can relate to that definitely. Being an entrepreneur most of my life, 24/7. You're always on. So without further ado, I'm not going to spend time saying hi to everybody. I appreciate everybody for coming in. And let's just get right to it. James, the storage scavenger.
Good morning, everybody. Hope y'all are doing well.
What's happening in Texas today?
Like you said, hot. It's actually not as hot as it has been, but we're down into the low hundreds and high 90s this week. So
the low hundreds.
That's okay. That's a nice cool front coming through for us. So we've been 105 to 110 for most of the last 2 months.
Oh, is that all? That's that's peanuts.
Yeah. So it's been fun. It's been hot, but we're doing good. We're having fun. We've been doing a lot of selling and a lot of cleaning. And in fact, I got a video today coming out just a little bit. It's actually uploading right now. That's on kind of a behind the scenes look at my workroom and kind of how I'm cleaning it, because I've been working on cleaning this mess up for weeks. So I'm kind of showing some of the progress I made, some of the new setup that I'm doing to improve my workflow. And
that's cool. Yeah.
Some also, I try in every video, I try to share a little bit of, our business and the mindset of our business, because there's a lot of things I see people talking about. Like I've seen a lot of people in some of the auctions complaining about the auction people, the people that are auctioning stuff off, getting ripped off because they're selling stuff for so cheap. That's the business that we're in. We're wholesalers. We're really not, in the retail business to get top dollar for stuff. We know that a large portion, at least of our audience, are resellers. And so we're trying to sell stuff at a decent price that we can make a profit, they can make a profit, and we can move stuff fast. I'm a treasure hunter, and I tell people this all the time. I'm a treasure hunter, not a reseller. I resell so I can go treasure hunt.
Yep. I've bought in pallet, just a couple now, pallet lots, and I broke them up and brought, lower box lots so people could make money with it. I make a couple of bucks, like you said. They make the most of the money selling at retail. But Dolly said they're having rain and thunderstorms, and I was telling James before we started that the sky opened up here. It is raining like crazy. But yes, James, post your a link to your page.
Yeah, I'm grabbing my right now.
Melanie did it already. Thank you, Melanie.
Oh, thank you, Melanie.
So
Trying to get to it.
we were talking days ago, maybe weeks ago now, when I was trying to get guests for the show, and you kept saying, "Well, I'm really new at this. I'm really new at this. I'm really new at this." But man, you've taken the bull by the horns, because it seems like you're doing everything. You're doing auctions, you're doing live videos, you're doing pre-records, and you're buying storage units. So how long have you been doing reselling and buying storage units?
Well, it's kind of a mixture. I've been reselling off and on for 20 years, but not seriously. I was doing it a little bit when eBay first came out. I was selling stuff out of my house like everybody else I know.
Yep.
Back then, it was just an auction platform. And then I got out of it. I was telling you just a little bit ago, back in the back room, I went through a divorce. And when I went through a divorce, uh, I got away from doing stuff on eBay. Uh, and then I moved to Florida. Well, I started doing a little bit of reselling back then when I was out there, just not much. I kind of dabbled in it here and there. So I've had my eBay account, my personal eBay account for years. When I decided to take it seriously, though, was in 2019. That's when I started the Storage Scavenger. That's when I started the Storage Scavenger store. And by then, I had been watching YouTube videos for about a year and a half, of watching other people and watching other reselling channels. Um, and then I started the Storage Scavenger in 2019. We bought our first unit in August of 2019 and started my official eBay store. That's my business store then. And so we just passed our 1 year anniversary there. We started the YouTube channel. Actually, next Saturday is our 1 year anniversary of starting our YouTube channel.
Congratulations.
So yeah, and I was thinking it was in October for some reason, but I was just looking stuff up today, and I saw, oh look, I'm at my 1 year anniversary. So
wow. Now you mentioned
we're actually talking about doing something special for our 1 year anniversary this weekend. I haven't figured out what it's going to be yet, but we just started discussing it this morning. So
you mentioned we and our, so you're not in this alone.
Yeah, well, nobody that's married is in it alone. I do most of the work for the business. I do most of the work for the YouTube channel, but my wife is a part of it because we are a family. We are a team. We work on things. We discuss things. We disagree on a lot of things. She doesn't understand the wholesale mentality versus the resale
Yep.
retail mentality a lot of times. So she wants me to get top dollar for stuff at an auction, and I'm like, you're not going to get top dollar at an auction for that stuff.
Right.
But I'm in the flip it quick. A lot of the videos I watched Storage Auction Pirate a lot when I was first learning and starting out this business. And so a lot of my philosophy is what I learned from him: hustle, grind, rewind, flip it quick, get it out and go get something else and keep moving forward. The other thing is I live in a very, very low cost area. I can pay all my bills on $2-3 grand a month. So okay. I have zero debt. I think I've mentioned this on your show before, when I was just on the panel, but I have zero debt. I follow Dave Ramsey's system. That was part of what got us into doing the reselling business, because he teaches so much stuff your kids think they're next. And we did that. We were selling stuff out of our house. We were selling stuff on Facebook. We were selling stuff to people we knew, whatever we could do to get rid of stuff. And then we decided to take it seriously, start really focusing on building a business out of it, started buying other people's stuff to sell.
Right. Now, see, one thing, I haven't bought any storage units. The only thing I did is sorry about that. I do local auctions. Well, I participate in local auctions, and one of them was a storage locker from one of the Orlando Magic. I guess he got traded or something. So I guess that's as close as I got to a storage locker deal. But my fear is, this is personal. And I think I told you this before too, and you said just start with a small one, 5x5 or whatever. And Jerry, who just popped in, he said, I'll help you, because my biggest fear is, well, what if I get one, and the way my neck and my back is, I can't physically do it by myself, load
Yeah.
the truck and whatever. So are
And
you
it's not for
doing
everybody. And I don't suggest everybody should be out buying storage units. That's part of why I love doing the YouTube options, because I can sell stuff to other resellers who can't get out and do a unit. You know, why I spend so much time on reselling channels isn't because I want to be the best reseller. It's because that's my target audience for who I'm selling to 90% of the time. Most of what I sell is through auctions. Some of what I sell is on eBay, but most of it's through auctions. And so I wanted to connect with those people and get them coming to check out our channel. But I know there's some people you may not be able to. And the thing is, there are good units. I got one just last week. There was a 5x5 unit. Probably the heaviest thing in there weighed like maybe 10 pounds.
Oh wow! But what I was
It
getting
was
to is,
neatly packed and neatly stacked. You wouldn't want to buy some of the units I've bought because they're trash. They're hard, heavy lifting,
yeah.
heavy work. I wouldn't recommend that kind of unit. But my very first unit had 3 totes in it, 3
But
plastic
when you
totes.
do it, you're unloading it yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. I was on January House's channel this morning. I was just popping around while I was doing stuff, and I just went in and say hi. And it just so happened that he was watching storage something, and he
Mhm.
had bid on a locker and won it for $260. So he says, "All right, well, it looks like I'm going to Virginia, which I know from Pennsylvania to where Falls Church is not that far." So I just, I started thinking about it again. I said, "Well, maybe I should," but do you? So you do storage auctions, you sell on eBay, you sell online. One of the other things that I think should be as popular, but it's not. Do you have a booth at an antique mall?
No, I've thought about it. I don't have one that's really close enough for me to be able to watch it and manage it all the time. The closest one of those kind of where I could set up a booth and just leave it is like 45 miles away. And
Okay.
I don't like being that far away from it. Um, we've looked at it, we've talked about it, but the little bitty town we're in, we don't have any of those kind of stores.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, because I mean, you've been around now, and you've heard the same thing. People talking about, well, I got a huge death pile. I have a huge death pile, and it's like, well, if you just keep it in a storage locker, you're just paying, and it's still dead. It's still a death pile. But if you pay for a place where it's available for sale, now it's a profit pile.
Yeah, that's true. And I've thought about it. One of the things we've looked at as we grow the business is just getting our own store.
Like
And
Melanie.
maybe having a little bit of stuff that's set up in the store for a direct sale and being able to offload some of the furniture and some of the big stuff that we don't want to ship, but mainly using it as a base for our online sales. I could set it up with a studio. I have place to store stuff.
Right.
Um,
You know Melanie, right?
I've got to build some things up in order to be able to do that.
You
And
you know Melanie Lightbeam.
yeah, I've met Melanie through your channel actually.
She's doing the crazy thing this time of year. COVID is opening a store.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
I was
annoying
on the
thing.
video when you announced it the other day.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great idea. And like you said, the furniture, the local auctions here, and I don't know how it is all around the country. Of course, it's very different when you do a storage locker. The local auctions here are basically people selling their house. They'll go in, wipe out the place, they'll bring it to auction, and whatever it gets, it gets. So I was telling Dolly once that a beautiful dining room table and 6 chairs went for like $50.
Mm-hmm.
Banquet, which the top and bottom, china cabinet, basically. Ethan Allen went for like $100. And if I had a place to get that stuff sold where I wouldn't have to worry about shipping, you can easily double, triple your money. Now, I don't know what kind of furniture you're seeing in storage lockers, but it must be something, that's not all crap furniture, right?
Some of it is. Honestly, a lot of the crap furniture, uh, I was telling you just a little bit ago about the video I'm dropping today. I'm showing some of that crap furniture off. It's what I'm using in my own business, stuff that I know I can't sell, but
Yeah.
it's in decent shape, but it's just not in good enough shape to sell, is what I'm using to furnish my workroom and
Oh,
my
okay.
my shop. And that's what I'm using in my storage, because I have a 10 by 30 storage unit where I sort and store all my stuff, um, that I'm working on trying to get listed and sold. And all those displays, all the cabinetry, all the stuff I have in that unit, that I'm sorting everything onto, is all furniture that came out of storage units.
Nice.
And
Now,
it's the cheap stuff that I can't sell, so I'm using it myself until
what,
it falls apart. And by the time it falls apart, I'll probably have another piece to replace it already.
right. You have anything that really, like, you say, wow, that's an awesome piece? Have you sold everything, or have you ever kept anything because I said, wow, this is the find right here. This is what it's all about. Do you have
I
anything
don't
special like that?
I keep stuff that I use. And this is the thing. I grew up with a hoarder, and I hated all the crap she kept just for the sake of keeping it.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that I have, pretty much, that I don't personally need, is for sale. And I go through my own stuff. If I haven't used it for a year, it's going into my sales pile, and I'm going to get rid of it. That's how I started. I started my whole business selling stuff out of my house, taking that money. We put most of it, because the whole reason we started was to get out of debt. So we put most of what we made going towards paying off debt. And then we took part of what we were making and started buying units. Our first unit, we paid $10 for.
Wow.
Um, and everything we've done since then, we've cash flowed. So
Just
I've
roll
built
over.
it up by whatever I can cash flow out of the business. I don't use credit. I don't use debt for anything. The only debt I have is my mortgage on my house, and I'm working on paying that off as fast as I can. Uh,
Well, I mean, not for nothing. I am a real estate broker, but I've been a property owner now for a long time. Um, you always want to keep at least a small mortgage. Paying it off sounds, well, I'm debt free, and I love Dave Ramsey and stuff. The debt free thing. But once you pay it off, you have no deductions anymore.
yeah, but you're talking about,
Yeah.
and this is something that through Dave Ramsey. The deductions are ridiculous. You're talking about saving $2,000 a year on my taxes, but spending $10,000 a year to save me two.
Well, it depends what your mortgage rate. Like if you get a mortgage today at 2.75, man, that's found money. That is just found money. Um, so I
But
mean,
you know what's even better? 0% interest,
0%,
0%.
right? Oh, I know. I understand. I
Because
understand.
it's just appreciating in value. 100% of the foreclosures happen on houses with a mortgage on them.
Right. Exactly. Yep. That's true. I know. So any cool stuff that you locally, like lately, just picked up or
Well,
anything?
now, Logo, I got a few things I'm going to show you. This one's listed actually right now on our Facebook Marketplace. And
Hi,
this
Misha. Hey,
is,
Lego Man. Thanks everybody for coming in. Sorry, I'm not saying hi to everybody.
it's hard to see because it's got a big reflection. You're going to see on my outside. But this is a mirror that we found in one of our storage units.
Wow.
Look at right there. It still had the price tag on it when we got it. I don't know if my light's going to reflect off of it. $149 right there.
Wow. Nice.
What it cost brand new. We got that listed on our Facebook Marketplace. I found in that one storage unit and we picked that one up for $250. I found 10 mirrors in that storage unit. That's just
Wow.
one of them. Uh,
So you think the person had a complex or something?
I don't know. He had mirrors. I've got artwork that I've got to get appraised because he had a ton of artwork in that unit. I got furniture in that unit that I'm doing some repair work on. It was some beautiful oak furniture. solid hardwood, but it wasn't in great shape, and some of the drawers were falling apart. So I'm reworking on the drawers and trying to fix them so I can sell it. I'm probably going to sell the dresser out of there for like 250 to 300 bucks.
Cool. Let me just show this. Land Shark, I've been waiting for you to come into one of my lives. This was hanging on my door the other day. Any relation?
We picked up just last week. We picked up two 5x10 units. Between the two units, both of them were loaded with DVDs.
Wow.
Between the two units, I had over 700 DVDs. The one we picked up on that Tuesday, we brought them back. We were doing an auction with T over at Auctions for You that night. I made my money back just off of the DVDs and the Christmas stuff that we pulled out of that unit that day.
Nice. Now, do you have to put, because I'm hearing, because like I said, once again, I have never bought in a storage unit. I'm sorry, people are just all of a sudden going nuts on my phone. They couldn't wait until, after the show or before the show. Are you having to put down $100 per unit cleaning fee on every one?
It depends on the facilities. Some facilities require $50. Some of them put it on their listing that they take $100, but they don't ever actually take it.
Okay.
Our public storage units and like the units I just cleaned out were both at public storage. Our public storage just went to online auctions, and Storage Treasures requires them to put that cleaning deposit on their listing, but they've never charged us a cleaning deposit. And part of it's because as you get into the business, as you do it more, you build a relationship with the managers of the facilities. They know, I've cleaned out. I went to this unit and cleaned out this unit at this facility. I've probably cleaned out a dozen units at that same facility over the last year.
Wow.
So because I know the manager and he knows I'm going to clean it up, I sweep it out. It's ready. By the time I leave that unit, it's ready for them to rent. They don't have to do anything to it.
Nice. And do you, because I asked Mike this too this morning, the other thing I heard when you're doing storage units, you should always look for a leaned unit, not a non-leaned unit.
I disagree because my best unit ever was a private sale unit. But
and that's what it was this morning.
Let me show you something else that I got though real quick. I was going to try to show this and then you moved on. This right here, look at that beautiful piece of carnival glass.
That's nice.
We found this in that unit that we picked up last Tuesday.
That's very nice.
Yeah, it's listed on my eBay store right now. But
how much?
Beautiful. I think I've got it listed for like $30 plus shipping.
Now, is that one of those, two hip chicks, right?
Yeah, I know Dawn. She actually
Dawn just picked up
that night at T's.
Yeah, Dawn just picked up a UV light. For checking out glass like that.
Yeah. Well, the ones that they're looking at with the UV light, they're looking for uranium glass.
Uranium and the Vaseline glass and stuff.
Light will glow in the dark.
Yep.
And I have a black light that I use on my glass. I have yet to find any, but that's what they're looking for because that uranium glass is really, really expensive right now. It's really popular. It's really expensive. And I see a lot of people taking black lights, going to Goodwills, looking at all the glassware, seeing it glow because I see a lot of people finding it in Goodwills all over the place. We do a little bit of everything. We do the storage units. That's my primary thing. But I go garage selling. We do thrifting. My wife does more of the thrifting and garage selling than I do because she enjoys it and I hate it. I don't like shopping, period. That's just me. But I love digging into a storage unit and digging in, just seeing what all I can find.
Going through boxes and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you don't enjoy it, it's a ton of hard work. So if you don't enjoy it, don't get into it. I don't think it's for everybody, but for people that enjoy that kind of stuff, it can be really, really lucrative. And it doesn't take that much. And if you wanted to, instead of wholesaling, you wanted to slow play it and sell everything yourself, you could buy one unit every 6 months, list all the stuff out of that unit, and then go buy another one. And I know people that do that.
Have you ever had, because I hear this, I mean, I'm sure a lot of us in the chat have heard pros and cons and stuff. Have you ever been approached or contacted by the former unit owner saying, "Gee, that's my personal stuff," and et cetera, et cetera?
Okay, well, again, being the caveat, I'm so new into this business, and I haven't bought that many units. I'm probably about 40 or 50 units in at this point. I've only met
That's
one,
all. 40 or 50. That's all. Damn, that's a lot.
but it's not that many compared to. I mean, I see some of these guys that are buying 2, 3 units a week,
Yeah, that's true.
processing them and selling them. And honestly, I'm still processing half of the stuff I've bought because I just am still learning how to do it. I'm trying to get systems and processes in place to process stuff faster and easier. And if you watch a lot of the channels on YouTube, at least, watch Storage Auction Pirate, Thrift Trader,
Grimes.
They have people helping them do the work.
That's right.
I'm doing all the sorting. I'm doing all the listing.
Yep.
I'm doing all the filming. I'm doing 90%. Every once in a while, my wife's able to get away from the kids to help me out with doing stuff. But most of it's me.
Right.
So,
well, the funny thing, like you say that, and I mean, I've been in my own business since '79. I opened up my first store, and I've had coaches. I've done the Tony Robbins thing. I've had personal coaches and business coaches, and they all, no matter what business you're in, they all tell you the same thing. You cannot go to the next level doing things the same way you're doing. You have to have a team. And even if they're not, they could be VAs, virtual assistants, but you need a team. Like you said, how can I buy more storage units if I'm still processing the first one that I'm doing?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I can appreciate that. Even in real estate, it's like, well, you can't go to the next level. You need a processor. You need this. You need a team. You need to start building your team so you could grow. And Judy on Facebook, because this is one of the other questions, how do you determine what price to offer on a unit? And it's not really an offer, Judy, it's an auction, but how do you know what price is?
Well, I've learned a lot of strategies on how to set what you're willing to bid on a unit. I've kind of come up with my own. One, I have three things three kind of levels of what I look at on a unit. And so the first one is kind of the no-brainer. You can see specific items and I can sell these items for that much and everything else is profit. So that's kind of your entry level of I'm willing to go. Like this one that I just got. I saw the furniture and I knew I could sell the furniture for at least $100. So my first level of what I was willing to spend on that unit was $100. Okay. When I jumped on the auction, the unit was only at 30. So then the next level is I started counting how many boxes in there. I don't know what's in the boxes, but I estimate I can probably go through the stuff in those boxes and sell them for, on average, $5 to $10 per box. So if there's 20 boxes and you can average $5 a box, that's an extra $100 you're going to add to your bid, what you're willing to spend. Some boxes you're going to make $200 or $300 off of. Some boxes you may trash the whole thing, but you're trying to find an average.
Right.
And it just
you don't know what's in the box.
Yeah. And then I also I'm looking at the unit as a whole. Like I bought some units that were really trashy. So I'm having to look at it and say, okay, this is what the dump fee is going to cost me to dump the trash. So I try to run through this, and you have seconds to run through these and figure it out. And I've miscalculated. I've had units that I overbid on. But I also, as you do more, you get a better valuation of what stuff is worth that you can see. And there's things like, okay, if I see neatly stacked totes, well, regardless of what's in them, those totes are worth money. In this business, totes are freaking gold. I mean,
Yeah.
every tote that I have, I've gotten out of storage units, and I use them every day for everything in my business. So totes cost money, and I've gotten to where now I can tell, okay, those are $5 totes from Goodwill or from Dollar Tree. Those are the $10 totes from Walmart. Oh, I like those. Those are $50 or $40 totes that they get at the high end stores over there at Lowe's and Home Depot. So I'm learning to evaluate just the cost of the totes alone. So I'm like, okay, if I see 20 totes and I can tell you an estimate of how much those totes are worth, well, that right there is money plus what I'm willing to gamble on what's in those totes. So so I said there's three. The first one is the no-brainer. You can see items that you know you can make your money back on, and then everything else is profits. That's kind of a no-brainer bit. Then your second level that I look at is kind of what I call a risk. You have some risk involved in buying these storage units, but that's when you're saying I'm gonna risk about $10 per box on that unit, or I'm gonna do that. Then you get into gambling units. This is where you see people that are spending hundreds or thousands of dollars on a unit with no clue what's in it, just hoping that there's something good in those boxes because they might have seen one or two items that looked like it had some really good value. I don't gamble on units because my number one rule on gambling is don't gamble more than you can afford. And right now, I'm not in that position to afford to lose money on a gamble.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's how Pirate gets the units he gets. That's how Wade Ventures gets the units he gets. That's how Thrift Trader gets some of the units he gets because they're willing and they're in a position where they can afford to lose because every one of them has lost money on some of their units.
Right. Now, I've only started watching Pirate, but I heard Wade and I forget another person say before the auction's over, they will go to the facility, ask the manager what they know about the unit.
Mm-hmm. You find out as much beforehand as you can before the auction begins. And
So
sometimes they will give you some information and sometimes they won't.
Anybody can ask about it, like, hey, I'm interested in this unit that's up
Yeah.
on the auction site. Okay.
Yeah, you can call them and say, hey, I'm looking at bidding on such and such unit. Give them the auction ID. Is there any information you can give me? Some facilities will, like Public Storage, and they still, even though they're moved online, they still have it. You can go to the Public Storage website and click on their storage auctions link, and it brings up all their units that are up for auction, and you get the person who owned it name and how long they've had that unit and what the size of the unit is. So you can actually do some research before you look at the auction on the people that had that unit. And that's where we learn the stories on a lot of this. A lot of times we share not just showing the stuff we find, but we share the story behind how they lost their unit or what was like. Sometimes we find, hey, this person's in jail because they were a drug dealer. That's where I had this one unit that we did that they were displaced by Hurricane Katrina. They wound up in Austin, then they wound up homeless, and they lost everything. They lost everything. The owner, the male in the relationship passed away, and the lady had a mental breakdown.
Wow.
Uh,
Now,
and we shared part of that story through our video series. We did about 10 videos off of that unit because it was a 10 by 20 that was absolutely packed.
wow. Now,
And it took me almost a month to clean out that unit.
let's say you do the auction. Okay, you're on one of the many auction sites for storage units. The final bid that you win, your winning bid is $100. Now, that's not all you have to pay, right? There's a fee to that auction company.
Yeah, well, it depends on where you buy it, how you buy it. Every auction has different rules. Most of our units we buy online at storagetreasures.com because that's where most of the facilities in our area have their units listed.
Okay.
Only a couple of them are doing live auctions now because of everything that happened this year. And Storage Treasures charges a buyer's premium. It depends on Storage Treasures. They have their monthly membership, which is like $10 a month. If you buy 2 units a month for more than $100, you're going to get your money back in what you save on the buyer's premium.
Okay.
Because their buyer's premium for non-members is 15%. If you are a member, you pay 10% of the sale price for your buyer's premium. So if you buy 2 units a month for more than $100, it's worth upgrading to the pro membership.
All right. But then if you are not set up for it and you happen to luck out, get a good deal on a 5x10, and you got to rent a U-Haul, then there's that cost.
Mm-hmm.
And then
all the costs.
If you can't put, and I point to the front of my house, if you can't put the extra garbage out at the front of your house, you got to go to the local dump.
Yep.
So I guess a lot of people don't think about that. Think about those extra fees.
Yeah, we didn't. In fact, I'm going to share a link in the chat here. Give me just a second. Because we actually did a video on this on our channel. We did a live stream just last week on how we've lost money in our business. And that's one of the big ones, is not accounting for all of these costs that we're talking about. And I went really in depth on it, so that's why I wanted to share it. Because we did this it was over almost a 2-hour live stream. So I don't want to keep you on that long talking about all the details. But yeah, you have to look at what does it cost to store it. I'm spending $300 a month on storage. Ooh. So if you're storing this stuff for months and months and months and not selling, that's a cost that you've got to take into account.
Right.
And it's moving stuff. How much are you costing to list this stuff? Because eBay, you've got shipping fees. So you're going to have fees with shipping stuff. Yeah, they pay the shipping cost, but I've had times where that calculated shipping was way off. And then we've had times where the shipping itself was covered, but it didn't cover all of our shipping materials, which you have to think about too. You've got materials involved in your shipping. So I'm going to drop this link in the chat real quick. This is a live stream that we did just last week on some of the ways we lost money over the last year in our business. A 2-hour live stream. We talked a lot about exactly what we're talking about right now, what some of those costs are that we didn't take into account when we started. But there's dump fees. For me, I have to pay a minimum of $90 to go to the dump. If there's mattresses, which if you see mattresses in a unit, unless they're like brand new and they're wrapped in plastic, 90% of the mattresses are going straight to the trash. Yeah. Our dump charges $40 per mattress, and it's $40 for the mattress and $40 for the box spring. So there's $80 for one bed right off the top.
Wow.
At the dump. Plus
now
the weight of my trade.
You've been doing this for how long again? You did it last year?
Yeah, I just started a year ago.
So, and if this is, if you don't want to answer, you don't have to answer. But dump fees, truck rentals, your storage facility, these are all expenses on your taxes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess you just have to set it up with your accountant that, so that at the end of the year, he could figure out what the profit and loss is or whatever.
Yeah, you got to keep track of the profit and loss. You have to keep receipts for everything. And I'm such a disorganized mess. I've actually lost receipts for stuff that I shouldn't have. Some of that stuff you can find and reprint. Like my storage facility always emails me all of my receipts, and I have a folder. So if I lose those, I can go back and reprint them. Storage Treasures, I can go reprint the receipts from that. But like going to the dump, they just give me a paper receipt whenever I'm there. If I lose that, then I don't get that. Also,
you got to start scanning everything with your phone.
Yeah. The other thing is don't forget, we do donations. We donate a ton of stuff. That stuff also accounts for your taxes. and you got to know your local tax law. I'm not here to give tax advice because
I know.
I'm not an expert at taxes, and I pay somebody else to do mine for me because I'm not that great at it.
No,
But
you should anyway, unless you're a CPA or an accountant.
exactly, that's what I recommend. But you do want to keep your receipts and make sure you get that little ticket from Goodwill and give an honest estimation of the value of the stuff you're donating. Don't try to, scam it by saying it's worth more than it is, but don't cheat yourself either. I've seen people with a full truckload and they're saying like they donated $100 worth of stuff. Dude, that's more than $100 worth of stuff. If you counted it $1 per item that you donated, it would be more than $100. And that's like one of the things I tell people. Like, if you got to realize on our storage units, if I buy one 5x10 unit, if I sold everything, granted, there's stuff that's not going to be sold, but if I sold everything that was sellable for $1, I would make $500 or $600 easy off of every unit for selling everything for $1.
Wow.
It's just a matter of figuring out where you can sell that for $1.
Right, exactly. And that's where I guess I call it it's called white elephant retail space or something like that. You must watch Resale Rabbit.
I do have him. It's one of the ones I'm subscribed. I'm subscribed to over 300 channels, and a large portion of them are other resellers and storage sellers and Taco Stacks, Resale Rabbit.
Rabbit has a warehouse, and then I guess once a year he does this massive everything's a buck.
Yeah, I see a lot of people doing those kind of resale stores. I haven't gotten myself set up and organized enough yet to where I could do that kind of sale.
Right.
But I've actually thought about it. That's where I would like to get a store or a place where I could set up that kind of thing, because I would have to run that kind of a sale out of my yard or my garage. Yep. And I'm not, but I see that's the other thing I see a lot of people doing, yard sales. I see a lot of the guys that used to dump a lot of the low end stuff at the flea markets, and since they can't get out to the flea markets, they're doing yard sales and moving stuff that way.
So all in all, though, you're making a living doing storage units and the online stuff.
Yeah, like I said, it also depends on your personal cost of living. Luckily, my business is not that big. I don't make a ton of money doing this. I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, I just came off a 4-month break, and we were living off of our savings. And this is part of like what I was talking about, that storage. Took a break for 4 months. I was spending $300 a month on my storage during that 4 months, and I wasn't selling anything.
Wow. Yeah.
So that dug into our profitability for the year. Yeah. Big time. But we do make some money at it, and we sell a little bit. We put part of it towards paying off bills, and then put some of it aside to go buy more units and buy better stuff. Like I said, I started with a $10 investment, and every unit I put aside money to buy more units, buy better units. Now I'm up to bidding $500-$600 on a unit. Wow. And we're starting to get better units. We're starting to get some more decent stuff now that we're getting up into those higher price points. But when I started, I was buying crap lockers nobody else wanted, because that's all I had to spend. I would show up in an auction with less than $100 in my pocket and get what I could get.
But you did it. You were successful.
But I did it, and I was willing to do the work. That's the thing, is I knew I was going to be buying crap, and I was willing to do the work short term so I could build it into something more.
And is it true that you have experience now, 50 units, whatever, but according to a map, you could say, I know all the low cost items will be in this unit, but if I buy a locker here, it has more higher ticket items.
I'm getting better. That's what we call profiling a unit, and I'm getting better at that. And this is where we were talking earlier, and I kind of went off in a different direction. Whether to buy lean units versus private seller units. There's different types of private seller units. One of the best units we ever bought was full of Christmas stuff. It was a private sale unit but it was another reseller that didn't want to mess with selling all their Christmas stuff. Those kind of units can
Thank
be
you, Penny.
really great. And you can get them for that one. We paid $60 for. The main reason I bought the unit was because Jessica wanted the Christmas stuff, and she kept about a quarter of the stuff out of the unit.
Wow.
But then within 2 days, before we even listed a single item, we had almost doubled our money on that unit because of people, friends, and family coming by and buying stuff that we had gotten out of that unit.
Wow. So, and you just keep, like you had said earlier, basically you're just reinvesting what you're making back into your business and growing it.
Yeah. And one of the struggles I will tell people, if you're new, if you're thinking about doing this or just getting started, this is one of my number one tips. Build your business for 2 to 3 years. Be very, very solid in your strategies, in your systems, in your processes before you quit your job and do this full time.
Yeah.
I did not follow my own advice. I'm not trying to be a hypocrite when I say this. I'm saying this because it's one of the biggest mistakes I made in my business from a business perspective. There were reasons I quit my job when I did because of everything that happened this year. The way this year's gone, I would have never survived where I was at anyway. But don't do it, because the biggest struggle we're having right now with our business is the fact that I quit my job way too early. We were not ready as business acumen, as far as strategy and as being organized and all the stuff that I need to do. I should have stayed part-time for at least another year to 2 years before I quit my job.
Right. Well, plus insurance, health insurance is a big thing. And Cobra, if you got to get it, is very expensive.
Yeah, that's the thing, is we lost our health insurance, we lost a lot of our benefits, and because Jessica's diabetic, it's very hard to get insurance and stuff on her now. And just financially, we were making enough from our reselling to replace my income, but not all the extra expenses that some of those benefits like insurance covered. And
Right.
my wife's been in the hospital twice this year. We have over $100,000 right now in hospital bills we got to pay off.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah, don't get me started on hospital bills.
and we did get her on Medicaid finally. We got that covered. So this last hospital stay is covered, but the one earlier this year isn't.
Wow.
And so,
Like you were saying earlier too, in some of your earlier um, jobs, I guess, you were into social marketing, social media marketing.
yeah, that's part of what I've utilized a lot of that. I was teaching people how to do social media when everybody else said that social media would never be a viable way of marketing your business or your website. Now, if you're not on social media, you're dead in the water.
They don't
But
have a business.
back in 2007 and 2008, when I was starting my own first business, I was doing social media marketing on Facebook and Twitter. And back then, there was more social bookmarking sites. Like, I don't know if you know of any of those, like Stumble Upon.
Yep.
And that was how I was marketing my websites and my blogs. And the thing is that doing things to market your reselling business or your YouTube channel, because it's the same thing for both of them. It's the same strategic approach that was required 10 years ago. The tactics, the technology, and the specifics we use are different. And it will continue. It'll be different in probably 2 or 3 years than it is right now.
If
But
that might change in another 6 months or whatever, it's always
yeah,
changing.
I mean, you never know where the technology is going to go. But the overall strategy, the fact of getting out there, building relationships with people, talking to people. I mean, that's why I'm on everybody's channel. That's why every time somebody offers an opportunity to join their live streams, I take it. I'm jumping in there and getting myself known, building the relationships with the host, but also, trying to provide some value to their channel. And everything you need to look at your business, whether you're doing YouTube or not, whether you're doing, listing stuff on eBay, stop looking at it like, what are people going to do for me, as in buying my products? What am I getting out of it? Focus instead on what are you providing. If you're doing YouTube, what value are you providing to the people watching your videos? If you are on eBay, what value are you providing with the products you're offering? Are you offering a good value? Don't have to sell every single thing at the, oh, look, this is selling for $27.99. I'm going to lift mine for 30. Just to see if I can make just a little bit more off of it. And I see people running their eBay stores like that. It's like all ego based. It's all about what's in it for me. What's the most I can get out of it.
Right.
I do it the opposite end. I don't try to go lowest dollar necessarily, but I try to offer a great value, even on my eBay listings. So if something's comping out for $34, $40, I might list it for 20 because they're still getting a good value. I'm still making a decent profit. We both win. I want every situation and every interaction I get with somebody to be in win-win. I hope that I'm providing some value to your audience so you win, I win, and the audience wins.
Absolutely.
That's a three-way win.
Like you said, we feel that, well, what's in it for me? But in reality, the other side is thinking, no, what's in it for me?
Yeah.
Buying from you, or I'm listening to you or whatever, but what's in it for me? And it's the same. I mean, and like you said about doing the marketing thing, I remember back when I first started, I mean, I did a lot of Craigslist ads. If I knew it was snowing like crazy in Chicago or New York or something, I had an ad made up that I did. I says, well, I can drive with the top down year round here in Florida. Come on down, So yeah, it's that marketing thing is because it's just like a website. What do they say about a website? It's a billboard in nowhere.
Yeah.
Unless somebody sees it.
Yep. Now, one thing that we're working on, and I have one kind of set up, but I'm not marketing it a whole lot right now because I'm fixing to move my hosting and changing, but I actually have my own website. One of the things that I recommend for those of you that are doing YouTube and doing eBay, you don't own eBay, you don't own YouTube, and they can change their rules and put you out of business like that. 10 years ago, Google made some changes for anybody that was around, and hundreds of websites and stuff lost their business overnight because they were dependent on one place, which was Google. YouTube has made changes. I don't know how many YouTube channels I've seen disappear that were really, really popular, great channels. YouTube made a change and all of a sudden they were gone. You don't own that platform. So whatever you're doing, I think everybody should buy their own domain, have their own website hosting, have their own place where they're building their presence on the internet. And then when things change, whether you're doing eBay, if you're doing eBay, but you have your own home hub that's where you collect leads, you collect email addresses, you collect people that are watching you, and your subscriber base is following you on your home base, which is your website. Then if eBay changes their rules, you can move to a different platform and you just tell the people on your site where you moved and they will follow you. But if everybody that's following you is following you on eBay, eBay makes a rule. They put you out of business overnight because of a change in their rules. It's their site. They can change the rules anytime they want to, and they don't have to give you notice. You are a guest on their platform. Same with YouTube. You are a guest on their platform. They can change the rules tomorrow and put every one of us that's resellers out of business on YouTube because they don't like something we're doing and how we run our channel.
They because everybody's making so much money selling now on our platform,
and they're not
we're going to charge a fee.
Yeah. Or they can just say, you know what, if you're not monetized through our monetization system, you can't sell on our platform. Or, because you got to realize people don't know this. Some people do, but most non-YouTubers don't know. Every time you give a super chat, YouTube gets a cut. Every time you you do the video views, the the video owners get a cut of those videos, but YouTube gets a bigger cut. So we don't get, if you give a super chat, that channel owner does not get all of that amount of the super chat. They get
Right.
a percentage of that, and YouTube gets a percentage of that.
I think I got my second super chat from Two Hip Chicks. But
Um,
I've been looking at that little ever since I got monetized. I look at it a little bit more and more because you hear these people like Casey and the other ones there. Oh, I forget who they are.
oh
Uh,
yeah,
they're making. They
most
claim they're making $1,000 or $2,000 or $10,000 a month YouTube fees, and it's like, damn. So I started taking some online classes about doing some marketing stuff, and there's a lot of pros and cons. Don't do live shows. Do more pre-recordeds. Make it focused. Don't make it focused. It's like there's 9 million opinions about one subject.
right, but the way I look at it, I do a lot of that too. I'm watching a lot of other channels on how to improve my YouTube channel and improve marketing my channel, growing my channel. By the way, I just want to break in here real quick. The reason I was all excited and dancing around, I just checked my channel. We just hit 800 subscribers. So whoever was number 800, thank you guys for joining our channel. We really appreciate it. We just hit our 800 subscriber mark just a few minutes ago. So
Fantastic. Yeah, everybody subscribe to each other in the chat. Everybody should subscribe to each other, and because it's all about building each other's channel, because reselling is a small community as much as they say it's not. It is a small community.
We're a growing community. We're bringing new resellers in. I've got some people that I used to work with when I worked at the prison that are messaging me on Facebook saying, hey, we've been watching your videos. How can we get started in doing this stuff? And I'm kind of bringing them into the community and telling them, hey, watch these people. Watch these people. This is where I learned how to do most of what I'm doing.
Nice.
Nice. And that's kind of what I'm doing with my channel too, is I'm trying to teach, and that's kind of a shift we started making the last few weeks. I'm still showcasing a lot of what we find in the units, but I'm also doing more to teach from our perspective as a newbie. This is what we've learned over the last year as we've built our business, and then referring people to other channels that are better at teaching it than we are, because I don't feel comfortable teaching how to do it in the best way because I'm still learning it myself. Right. But we use our channel to kind of filter people in and get people started, and then show them to other channels that have helped us to grow our business.
Yeah, but everybody has little pointers, stuff they do different that.
Oh yeah, everybody does things differently. And I've done some things really, really well, which is why I'm at where I'm at right now. I've done some things that were really, really bad, which is why I'm not doing any better than I am right now. So, and I try to share that. I try to be authentic and real with people and show them that, hey, this is what we're doing. And my eBay store was shut down. I'm still building it up. Those of you that know, been following us know Danica over at Lady Luck Junk gave me a challenge about 3 weeks ago, and I'm kind of behind on that challenge right now. But I'm trying to get my eBay store before the start of Q4, which is the end of this month. I'm trying to get my eBay store back up to 700 listings, which the most I've ever been at is about 400. So that was absolute highest. So, and I'm about 115 right now. I'm hoping to be at about 130 by the end of the day.
Nice.
I've got a bunch of stuff I was drafting this morning. All I got to do is take pictures and list them. So
last November when we went home, I had 680 listings on eBay or whatever. Instead of putting my store in vacation and moving the the handling time out, I ended every listing because I didn't know when we were coming home.
Yeah.
2 weeks, 3 weeks, it was the end of December or something.
Well, see, we didn't talk about it here. I forget. Sometimes not everybody knows. So let me tell you about my year. So I quit my job in November, and we were doing good. We were making some money. I met Justin Grimes from Grimes Finds right after I quit my job. and he invited me at Thanksgiving to come up to his place. So at that time, I had 34 subscribers on my channel. I was building up my eBay store. I had just bought a whole bunch of units when I met him. Crap units, but so made some good money off of them anyway. But I went up to his place. I learned a lot from him. That's when I met Robin from Because She Shed. I went Crocker's Lockers, met Jeremy Hales, met Grimes. By the end of that weekend, I was at almost 300 subscribers.
Nice. Now, is this when he had his auction place before it burned
down? That was when he had his warehouse. In fact, if you see on my playlist, there's a playlist called the Texas Thrift Hall Throwdown, which was a little competition that we had when we were all collabing over at Justin's. And that's why I say one of the biggest things you want to do if you want to grow a YouTube channel, collaborate with other channels, and especially bigger channels than yours. Now, I know that there's a lot of people that disagree with some of the ways that Justin runs his business, with the way Jeremy runs his business. I follow a lot of channels, and I respect everybody's right to run their channels the whole way they do. They did a lot to help me get that initial push and initial growth on my channel. I was at 34 subscribers when I met them, and now look at where we're at.
Nice.
And a lot of that was because of the push that they gave us to help us kickstart our channel and kickstart our growth.
Right. I was blown away.
There's things about how they run their business I disagree with. There's things that they've both done that I disagree with.
I haven't heard anything about that, but I told my wife, I said I was blown away when somebody broke into his warehouse, burnt it down or whatever, and he never lost his faith. I mean, now granted, I'm Christian, recovering Catholic or whatever, but he never lost his faith.
No.
And I respect that. And
yeah,
because I would have done some stuff, man.
And I'm going to tell you, look at his channel. A lot of people misunderstand how he grew his channel as fast as he did. Because when I first met him, he was about 10,000 subscribers. Now he's almost at 100,000. He didn't grow that fast because of scamming the system. It's because early this year he did a collaboration and a whole series of collaboration videos with a channel with over 1 million subscribers.
Wow.
You collab with a channel with that many subscribers, you're going to have some pretty rapid growth.
Yeah. It's funny. In one of my last lives, somebody was saying that I need to do that. I need to get on with people. And I told them, I said, well, I'm not the type to ask, because I feel like I'm begging or whatever. But then Kim,
and this is where
Kim, it's about to get real.
Build the relationships, because I met Grimes on another live, but it was because I was out there talking to people. I was just being real, being honest with who I am. Yeah. Now, I love Grimes. I don't necessarily agree with how he's doing his videos now. I like his videos, but they're more entertaining than educational, and they're less real than they used to be since he's had as much growth as he's had. Just my personal opinion. I still love his content. I still watch his videos, but they're more entertaining than educational to me.
Right.
Than they were when I first started.
Everybody's videos. I look at some of everybody's, not all of everybody's. I'd be here. I would never leave the screen if I had to watch everybody's.
Well, like I said, I watch over 300 channels, and I subscribe to over 300 channels. I'm on a lot of live streams, and I know there's some people that disagree with Grimes, and I hang out on their channels too. I've learned something from all of them. I know there's this big disagreement between Pirate and Grimes. I know a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes with that because of conversations with people on both sides of it. And I've stayed out of it. And I've mentioned this on my channel. I am staying out of that whole disagreement. If you don't want to follow me because I follow the other one, because I still watch both of them.
Yeah. See, I don't know anything
out of that. But I've learned a lot about my business from both sides.
Right. I've had my own bout with drama and got over that. But I mean, if it wasn't for Kim, it's about to get real. The other day, asking me that, are I don't know why everybody calls her Cha-Cha, but Maricha, the drunken data girl,
Yeah.
is doing a
Mm-hmm.
craft auction. I said, well, I don't have many craft or art supplies, but
But she's also looking for channels to host.
yeah,
Even
I
if
said, well, I'll do it. I says I have some vintage craft stuff, so I'll do it. So yeah, I know the same thing. Like you said, you have to get out there, and everybody talks about that. You got to collaborate with each other,
Yep.
um, and that's what it is. That's what it's all about. Definitely what it's all about, because it
Yeah.
is such a small community. I do
And I
try to
have a
keep the
little bit of craft stuff. I had actually just when she announced it, I had just sold most of my crafting stuff, and I was like, well, I could have put that stuff aside if I'd have known that was coming. But I just sold it all at an auction right before she announced that they were doing all that. But I still have some, and
yeah.
I signed up to be in the collab. But
Good.
I also, and I told her, I said, I don't have that much to sell, but I'm willing to host. So she is looking for hosts as well. So that's how I'm going to help them out.
Oh,
Uh,
that's cool. That's cool.
and still be able to participate. So I'm going to be hosting some of that on my channel.
Right.
But it's a lot of stuff going on. We're doing a lot of things. I'm still getting out there, and it's not just about promotion either. It's about just being real and learning and getting to know people.
Yeah.
Most of what I'm doing, I'm not even when I'm out there on other people's channels, I'm not thinking about, oh, maybe I'll get subscribers from coming in here, or maybe I'll get people coming to watch my videos. It's not about that. It's about getting in there, getting to know other people, trying to
Right.
learn from them, and trying to see what I can learn from them and what I can use, and then trying to provide some value of my own by sharing, my own experiences
Yeah.
with other people. And because I've been willing to do that and focus on what I'm giving and what I'm building those relationships, I mean, I'm starting to get to the point now where I'm building those relationships with other channels that have 10,000, 40,000, 50,000 subscribers. And I'm starting to get noticed by some of the bigger channels because I'm always in the chats. I'm always answering questions,
Nice.
asking
Nice.
questions. And now I'm starting to get noticed by some of the other people. And that's helping grow my channel because they will mention me in their videos, or they'll mention something that I've done. And that's not why I did it, but that's kind of the result I'm getting. The more you focus on what you give, the more you're gonna get.
Right.
And that's
The
true.
funny thing and I know I'm over time right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, but it's okay. You kept, and you've said it a couple of times here already. You kept saying, I'm the newbie, I'm the newbie, I'm the newbie. But you have so much life experience on what you do and what you have done that you're bringing to your business today.
Yeah.
That you're really not a newbie. You're just doing something different right now. Or you're adding another channel to what you've done before. You've done the marketing, so you know the marketing, which is helping you forward what you're doing right now, which is great. I mean, so I would stop calling myself a newbie because, man, you do have a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge of what you're doing.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. And I have been a newbie. I just passed my 1 year reselling anniversary as far as starting my business. This Saturday is the 1 year anniversary for our YouTube channel. And it's been an exciting ride. It's been a fun ride. I did want to just real quickly answer a question from Flipping Flamingos. Every Tuesday night, so tomorrow night at 10 p.m., we're looking at changing the time, but right now we're sticking with Tuesdays at 10 p.m. We do a live stream. And when I say we, it's usually me and my wife. Sometimes she's able to join us, sometimes she's not. Sometimes she gets mad at me because I forgot to tell her it was time for the live stream, even though she knows it's at the same time every week. But that's another argument here or there. But she and I go live here on our channel every Tuesday night. We try to go live every Thursday as well. And then I do intermittent live streams, sometimes late at night. We did a 2:00 in the morning live stream the other day.
Damn.
We stayed up from 2 till 4:30 in the morning.
Wow.
And we had some really, really great discussions during the 2 a.m. live streams.
I can imagine. Was there alcohol involved?
Mr. Romero, who is in the chat, had a little bit of alcohol involved. Matt Romero, he's got a great channel too. He was on the live stream with me, and we had a third person who's Hot Flip Heidi. She's actually very new to YouTube and to reselling. And we were actually helping coach her on how to do some things and how to get herself started. Had about a 2.5 hour live stream where we went into how to do YouTube auctions, how to decide whether to put stuff on YouTube auction or put it on eBay. A lot of great discussions going on there.
Very nice. Very nice.
So,
yeah, 2 o'clock, man, 2 in the morning. I'm usually up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, so I can't imagine. But hey, James, I want to thank you for coming on and talk. We'll definitely have to get you on again.
Thank you, guys. And y'all stay tuned to here in just a little bit. It was uploading when I started this, so I got to go finish the descriptions and everything and get my thumbnail put together. But I got a new video that we just uploaded. It's a behind-the-scenes look at some of our process and the kind of a behind-the-scenes look at the progress we've made on my workroom over the last week and some of the new.
Put a link in?
So,
can you put the link in?
I don't have the link yet.
Well, it'll be on your channel, right?
Because it's it's going to be on my channel. I have it set to private because I just uploaded it and I've still got to finish tweaking everything on it.
All right.
So I don't have a shareable link on it yet till I get it published.
Okay. Well, thank you very, very much for coming in. Like I said, I'll have to have you on again, and because there is so much to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I could go on for hours. I know you have a time limit. Thanks everybody for showing up. This has been fun. I enjoy doing this kind of stuff. So
thank you for being here. Yeah, thank you very, very much. So yeah, we try to keep it at an hour. You know, sometimes we go over. I just don't like to invade on other people's time. But next week we do have Nana Tink coming in. We're going to talk about glass, like James had showed us, that nice carnival glass. And then next Tuesday, the bearded picker is going to be on.
Ooh.
And then the week after, I'm trying to make it all business. I have an attorney, one of my 2 attorneys that I want to get on, and the reseller accountant, trying to get him nailed down too. Tomorrow, I'm going to do what else but an auction with Wolf Toy Jerry. Jerry's going to sell some stuff tomorrow. I'm going to sell some stuff. And then Wednesday, it's Swap Meet Wednesday, where I let you be the seller. So if you want to sell some stuff, if you want to learn how to sell, if you're too embarrassed, like I just tell everybody, aim the camera down, let the fingers do the talking, and I'll help you along. Yep. So with that, James, Storage Scavenger, thank you.
Thank y'all for having me. I hope that I've shared a few things that gave people some insight in the business. We had a great time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Ha ha ha!